Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the show. It's time now to go up to Mohegan Sun Pocono Downs. Their recently completed meet was an unbelievable success. And let's go up to their publicity guy, John Zimich, and he'll give you a recap of what happened in 2009 at Mohegan Sun Pocono Downs.
Randy, what a season we've enjoyed here in 2009 with increased purses. 2000, no different from the last several years here. We've had attracted the top flight horsemen and horses throughout the year.
Yeah, I have to agree, John. And no less than 8 drivers topped the $1 million mark here this year. What a feat that is for those drivers.
And how about when Jim Worrell Jr. came aboard right off the get-go? He was on a regular basis with us. He led throughout the season, decided to leave on around September the 18th. Joe Pavia Jr., Mr. Autumn, took over. He was gangbusters past Joe. Jim Worrell Jr. off, and now Joe Pavia Jr. will win the driving championship. And Jim Worrell Jr., though, he's going to win the top percentage driver. He had a .400 to Tim Tetrick's .363. Johnny Z was undefeated here, and Johnny Z, as you know, 3-year-old Colt Pacer of the year
here.
Right, deservingly so.
Billy Blue Chip won the $200,000 PA Championship Finals here. What a horse that is. Raced here right on through for Joe Pavia Jr. Billy Blue Chip, phenomenal year.
Andrew McCarthy, he probably will say the newcomer of the year here, undoubtedly.
I have to agree, John. You know, for someone who just came out of the blocks here, really had a great year.
But with Anthony Napolitano for newcomer of the year, too. How about those two guys? They're third and fourth in the driver's standings.
You know, I have to agree, John. And Anthony Napolitano just came from Pompano, winning the title out there and coming up north and finishing fourth. That's phenomenal.
How about the trainer? Boy, the trainer thing was right down to the wire, Randy. Chris Oakes battled Carmine Fusco, those two, with North America's leading trainer, Ron Burke, third here. But all three of those guys with over $1 million in purses. And Ron Burke, 1.5, he led the way there. And Chris Oakes with that .483, and he's going to won both of those titles. We named the Red and Pan Lines was honored with Claiming Pacer of the Year. Chris Oakes, Nip and Attack, Mare of the Year. George Teague Jr., Johnny Z, 3-year-old Colt of the Year. And then we had Joe Pavia Jr. with Billy Blue Chip, 3-year-old Filly of the Year. John Wagner, 2-Car Lane, Claiming Trotter of the Year. What about those other horses, Randy?
Yeah, Ray Schnichter, Grain of Truth, Trotter of the Year, sharing that with All About Justice from the Gail Rubel stable, Trotter of the Year. Jim Worrell Jr., of course, leading driver UDR. Carmine Fusco, stable 4-Star Sioux, Pacer of the Year. Chris Oakes, leading trainer with the wins in UDR. And Joe Pavia Jr., of course, our leading driver with the number of wins this year.
And things are going to get bigger and better next year, Randy. In 2010 season, we'll be starting off probably in early spring. But how about we're honored and proud to be hosting the first ever to host all 12 races on a single night's card. We'll be hosting the Breeders' Crown in 2010, October the 9th. So mark that day down. Breeders' Crown right here at Mohegan Sun Pocono. We'll be showing off our $6.9 million paddock, all the improvements that have been made here over the years. And on that particular day, Randy, $7 million in purses will be awarded. How about
unbelievable? And it's nice to see that you know, we would actually be considered and did get this. And I have to kudos to the management here and everyone else who played a role in making that happen and making it reality.
So we're looking for bigger and better things in 2009 when we open in early spring. Until then, we have a great winter and holiday season. You too, partner.
Yep, same here.
Thank you so much, John Zimich and Randy Castellani. We look forward eagerly to the 2010 racing season. And, of course, the highlight of that meet is going to be the Breeders' Crown, which will take place in October. And, amazingly, the first time in Breeders' Crown history, all 12 races and events will take place at the same track, and that is Mohegan Sun Pocono Downs. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have Harris Chester track announcer James Withright with us, and he'll talk about his favorite races of this recently completed season. And also we'll go to Sonny the Paddock Judge. A lot of stuff coming up, so don't go away. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our show. You get to see a guy now who you mostly hear but don't really see much unless you happen to see the opening of PA Harness Week each week, because James is on there looking from behind his binoculars high atop Harris Chester. He calls the races here. He's one of the best young callers in the business. Welcome, James Withright. Hi, James.
Steve, thank you very much.
My pleasure. How you doing?
Doing all right. Great to be back on Pennsylvania Harness Week for this last episode of 2009.
And you're being seen, which is pretty exciting stuff.
For someone who usually takes a more Carlton the Doorman approach, it is something a little bit unusual to be on camera, but it's always great to be here.
Great. All right, as you look back at 2009, you've called virtually every race here. What sticks out in your mind, James?
There were really a couple great performances. Of course, we had Super Stakes Sunday and the Ben Franklin, which were phenomenal races. However, the Betsy Ross and the Governor's Cup really stick out in my mind. In the Betsy Ross, we had Southwind Tempo, who won the 2008 Betsy Ross, and she really did not get that great of a trip. Going into the bridge turn with 1 lap to go, she was shuffled back second last.
Yeah, okay.
She was second last toward the rear of the field, locked in about 5 lengths from the front. She's locked in up the backstretch. She has room moving into the far turn as Martha Maxine took the lead and went to 3/4 and what was it, 1:21.1, something like that. And Southwind Tempo made the sweeping move in the far turn that I actually missed because I was focused on Martha Maxine and the pressure she was under. But Southwind Tempo comes sweeping up the outside, is going away on the final 70 yards, and sets a world record for the 5/8 mile track for a pacing mare in 1:48.3 under Tim Tetrick, who drove her in her 3-year-old campaign when she won the Valley Forge. John Campbell was in the bike when she was 4, winning the Betsy Ross the first time round, and she was reunited with Tim Tetrick for the 09 Betsy Ross. Really a great race, a great effort from Southwind Tempo.
Was that a great drive by Tetrick? Talk about patient, right?
I think there was, of course, some elements of racing luck, but he knew that the cover probably wasn't going to sustain. So by saving ground and angling out when he did, I think he saved his mare for the best time.
Didn't you think Martha Maxine was the best horse in the race?
She was the best horse in the race, but definitely not the best mare, as we later found out.
We later found out, exactly. Okay. Anything else that stood out in your mind from this season?
As I had mentioned, the Governor's Cup, Harris Chester hosted the fall Final Four, and One More Laugh was a bit of a surprise in the Governor's Cup this year. We were looking at Malicious, we were looking at Rock and Roll Heaven, and Malicious was under pressure up the backstretch from One More Laugh. Tim Tetrick sent the gelding first over and was able to wear down One More Laugh on the far turn. Rock and Roll Heaven then closed up the open stretch. Couldn't quite get to One More Laugh, and One More Laugh set a world record for a 2-year-old pacing gelding on the 5/8 mile track of 1:49.2 right here at Harris Chester.
James, thank you so much. Always do a great job. It's a pleasure having you, and it's great to see you.
Steve, thanks again for having me.
My pleasure. Okay, it's time now to go to Sonny the paddock judge, and he's got something special in store for you. Here he is.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with George Napolitano, Jr., the winner of the driving title at 2009 Harris Chester Meet. George, what did it take to win the title this year?
Well, first it took having God in my life. I got to give him all the credit. But no, it's just it's been amazing, man. I fell right into the right spot, and I'm just thankful it's over, man. It's just a really tough meet here. You know, we got all these great drivers, Timmy and the Millers and Yannick and Goodell, and you know the driving colony here is very, very tough. And it's a blessing, and it's just, you know, from the trainers down to my wife, all the support, man, it's unbelievable.
And George, now that the meet is over, what's your plans?
I'm going to take a little time off, spend some time with family. You know, we got Thanksgiving coming up. My little son's birthday's on the 4th. I got my wife's birthday's on the 22nd. You know, we got Christmas, and then we're going to head out to Disney World, man, and enjoy a little time with the family and rest up a little bit, man. I'm tired.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, George, and congratulations on your title.
Thanks.
Also, I want to congratulate Ron Burke, our leading trainer for 2009 here. I'm Sonny the paddock judge. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Sonny. It has been a great and memorable year, and you've been a big part of it. We thank you for that. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to have the coach will be here, and he's going to give us his Dover picks. Don't go away.